Hey everyone, my name is Sophie from Sophisticated Organization, and that was a quick before picture of my craft cabinet that I am going to be reorganizing with you today. It is a little bit organized, as you can already tell, but not completely done. And I wanted to go through everything because I've just been collecting all of the different craft supplies that I consider to be more kids' craft supplies and tossing them in this cabinet. Though there are some organizers, they're not necessarily organized within the organizers. I keep my crafts that I use personally up in my office because my office is so large. So those are more adult crafts, and I reorganized that space not too long ago. So I will also link that video in the cards in the description box if you're interested in watching that, because this one is more kids craft focused. And what I'm starting off by doing is taking all of the markers and crayons and putting them into this Lazy Susan. And I chose this Lazy Susan specifically because it has removable dividers. I thought that that would be a nice feature so that you don't have to take the entire Lazy Susan out and bring it to a table for your child to color. You can just take out one section if they want to color with markers, or since we have crayons in them and I have a really large box of crayons, I think it's going to take up 2 of the divided sections. Then you could take the 2 sections for the crayons out. And you'll also see that I have a few different types of crayons. So I have those large palm grasp crayons as well. Those are from Crayola, and it's a stage 1 crayon for kids that are just learning how to use crayons, because the standard crayon can be a little bit difficult for little hands, and as they're just learning, they can just grab the whole thing and see how they can make marks on paper. I also got these thicker beeswax crayons that are a little bit more natural and great again for smaller kids that are just learning how to use crayons because they're thicker, but they're a good in between for the palm grasp crayons, the circular egg-shaped ones, and the standard crayons. It might look like a lot of work what I'm doing dividing these by color, and I'm sure it's not gonna stay this way, but figured for the original organizing, I might as well separate them out. So I have them divided by cool colors and warm colors, and I figure if we end up getting more crayons, then I will fully fill up those 2 containers because I don't think it's gonna completely fill them up. But I also have a sharpener that came with the large 120 count Crayola box that I'm gonna put in there, and you'll see in a second how I have another little box there that I bought for a craft from Target. That's just a small extra box of crayons. The last section I'm adding in here, I have whiteboard crayons. They're crayons that are meant for whiteboards, and there's a special cloth that you can use to clean off the whiteboard. I got this for a travel set that I got for Owen, our child, and I'm going to store them in here as well. Next up, I got some paints from Michael's. You can see that there is a sale sticker on them. They were on clearance, so I figured I would just jump on it. They are washable paints, and there is a plain version and then a glitter version that I got. So I'm playing around with how I want to organize them. I have a second divided Lazy Susan here. This one has 3 compartments that are removable instead of the other one that had more. I will link both of these Lazy Susans in the description box below so you can check them out if you like this concept. But after loading them all up into that divided Lazy Susan, I changed my mind and felt like that wasn't the best use of the space. Still not sure if this is going to be the best use of the space, but I have a lot of pom-poms that we've been using for crafts and different activities. I've made a pom-pom ball drop. If you watched on my Sophisticated Motherhood channel, I did 3 different box crafts using cardboard boxes, and I cut out little holes and made some different spots to drop in pom-poms, the really, really big ones, and other ones I've used for Mother's Day crafts or other things like that. And I am again doing what I did with the crayons and dividing them all by color. probably not going to stay this way. I completely recognize that. But since I'm kind of in charge of crafts at this point and I'm not letting Owen go crazy with all the craft stuff on his own because he's only 1.5, I am going to organize it this way because that's the way that I like it, and I like things organized by color. And I do have the TV playing in the background, so I was listening to the TV while doing this, but I do realize this is a very tedious way to organize. I was almost done with the pom-poms, but took a little bit of a break so I could go back to those paints, and found another container that I thought would fit them better. I'm just organizing them in rainbow order there and going to load them up. Another thing I want to mention about this project is that I did not purchase any new organizers. These are organizers I had in my house in other spaces, and I'm just repurposing them here with this craft cabinet. So you might see that there are some extra organizers that I have there on the side that I don't end up using. That's just because I pulled everything out and figured might as well have all of my options for organizing there, and then whatever I don't use I can put back in the cabinet that actually is next to this one where I keep extra organizers. You'll see how hard I'm trying to stuff all these pom-poms in there. I have quite a few and figure that I don't need to get any more. So I'm hoping that this collection goes down a bit and fits in this organizer a little bit better in the next few months. Now we're on to random little crafts. I have this organizer. I think I originally had it for jewelry, maybe back when I was in college or something, but I'm going to put my googly eyes in there and other little small craft pieces and save some extra room because I know this craft cabinet is probably going to continue to evolve as Owen gets older and gets into more projects. So we've gotten a few things organized. I am going to put some things in the cabinet to make a little bit more space on the floor to finish organizing everything. And I'm just testing out the height of the cabinets as well, making sure I like where everything is going. I'm trying to put things in a place that makes sense for how tall Owen is and what's age appropriate for him. So I don't want to put things too low down that he could easily open up the cabinet door and pull out and make a huge mess or potentially choke on something. I am still very conscious of the pom-poms and don't let him play with the little ones because it's still probably a choking risk at this age. I know kids under the age of 3 tend to put things in their mouth, put everything in their mouths. So that is in my mind as I am organizing as well. A lot of these items were things that I had even before having a kid, and I'm just repurposing them as kids' craft items. So I had some stickers that I think I used for scrapbooking a while back, maybe when I was in high school, or I did scrapbooks in college I did them for all of my high school friends and for all of my college friends when we graduated, just little scrapbooks, and then I did bigger versions for myself to document all of that. So I have some extra letters and numbers that I am going to put down here for Owen. I have also been hoarding a little bit. I had this box that is a file cabinet box, a hanging file organizer that I was throwing in extra little supplies that I thought I had some ideas to do crafts with. So I have been keeping the tops of some of his pouches, and I will share more on my Sophisticated Motherhood channel, some crafts that I'm going to do with that, as well as wipe tops. I shared in that video that I talked about where I used cardboard boxes. I have an egg carton, some bottles that I purchased that are for sensory bottles. I have a couple toilet paper rolls, and I'm just going to keep all of those in that file box, even though I'm not using it for files, just to keep it all contained and organized. This is that whiteboard that I mentioned that I got whiteboard crayons for. It is a travel system for activities for kids, and it's still a little bit too old for Owen to play with. But if you have kids that are a little bit older, this is great for planes or car rides. It's magnetic, and it has some activities for kids that are older that challenges them a bit, but looks like it would be fun for a variety of different ages, and I will link that again in the description box below as well.
I'm losing sight 'cause I am falling. I'm so deep down, and it's not a lie that I die.
You'll see the cabinet is not completely stuffed. I have lots of extra organizers. I put a couple more of his travel items there. I have those water wow coloring books where you fill water in the pen and your child feels like they're coloring. And you'll also see the pile of trash that I can throw away, all of the cardboard boxes and packaging that came with stuff that I was able to get rid of. And then last but not least, I am going to put some labels on a few of these organizers so I know what's what. And then I will show you the final after.
Carry all that you've got. Two heavy hearts is not a lie. I will put out all of the fire. We stumble and fall, and it's not a lie that I die. I can hide what this is.
Thank you so much for being here with me today. If you enjoyed today's video, make sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel for more, and until next time, I will see you guys later.